This video is going to be very hard for me to do. So I just got back from Walmart, you know, the good old Walmart. Who doesn't like Walmart? And after seeing so many posts about this mask on the Michael Myers Net Facebook page, I saw some people comment about it, and then I saw some people directly send me this stupid picture of this mask to go pick it up, spend $14.97 on this bitch, and repaint it. I gotta lubricate for this. So I go to Walmart. I picked up body wash too because I actually needed something. I'm not just literally buying this mask and going in through self-checkout. I'm not that kind of Nazi. Went to the masks and I couldn't even find this thing. They literally hid this thing behind all of the Scream masks. And I'm like, oh, they don't even want this thing to be seen. So I took all those Scream masks, I threw those bitches on the floor. I took that Michael Myers mask. Also, you know what's back at Walmart? These guys, and they're even better than ever, and they're still 98 cents. And there's a whole new video series coming out for this whole Halloween season. More about that, like, at the end of the week, but that's not important. Grab this mask. I go to self-checkout with it. I'm like hiding this thing because I don't want people to see it. There she be. I don't like it. But, you know what? I have like faith in everything I do for the most part, like 38%. And I have a feeling that I can somehow decently make this look okay. Like make this look reasonably like Michael Myers. I get it's an H2 mask, but what the hell is this? I really want to know who made this too. Wasn't it Ruby's? Yeah, Ruby's made this, and they should be fucking ashamed of themselves. I want to know who took in like the prototype of this mask, showed it to someone, and they said, that's it. Look at the comparison photos. They're exactly alike. Because whoever it did, I get paid $10 an hour. They probably get paid more than me, and that's not fucking fair. So, it's supposed to be a Halloween 2 mask, so I'm gonna try and make it look as much like a Halloween 2 mask as I can. So, but it ain't gonna look like, well, you know what it looks like, so. Alright, so let's get started on this. Also, while I was at Walmart, a lot of people were mad that I bought an airbrush and used that, and I'm mad at myself too because I spent $150 on that thing and it's the hardest thing I've ever used. So I bought a whole bunch of standard, this is like a $5 set of paintbrushes that I'm gonna be using for this entire video. I'm not airbrushing today, so let's get started. Damn well I'm gonna try this stupid thing on too. That's the sad part. Oh, there it checks. Why am I being careful with this thing? It poked a hole. And it's like, I don't even know if this is latex. Like it's, you know it's cheap fucking latex, you know it. It's so smooth. Honey, what way is this supposed to be Michael Myers? I don't know who it looks like, but it looks like an actor or something. I can't figure it the hell out. The one thing I did realize that's gonna be really tough, and I don't even know how I just realized this, that he doesn't have a neck. That's where like a lot of, oh my god, this is gonna be harder than I thought. Obviously it doesn't have a back of the head, and I'm not doing enough. I'm like, you probably could do something, like create a whole latex back and all that, but you think I'm really gonna do that for this? No. And I know people are gonna instantly complain at me yelling, this is such a waste of time when you could buy a high-end mask for the amount of money. I'm not doing that to, like, I'm not wearing this to frickin' Halloween convention. I'm wearing this, or I'm putting this in a shadow box, probably in the garbage at the end of this video. I don't know. What I'm gonna start by doing is, like I said, stuffing this mask. Right now I just have it on my completely like deteriorating, well, it used to be just a red head, but I painted it black for decoration, I guess, and then now it's kind of peeling off. So what I'm going to use are just some plastic bags. I have some fabric, paper towels, and I'm going to try and stuff it using a diagram to try and get as close to the H2 mask as I possibly can. So I'm going to start right away by just putting a big wad of plastic bags in here. Alright, so I stuffed the mask quite a bit. Right now, oh my god, that's my issue. It keeps sliding around on this head just because, I mean, it's a half mask. But once it's pulled, as you can see, it's actually starting to look a little bit more like an H2 mask. So what I think I'm gonna do is I have some Pros-Aid here, and this is like a prosthetic adhesive. I use a lot of latex prosthetics, like this is what I'd use. I'm gonna see if I can just Pros-Aid this down the side of the head just to keep it stuck and a little more taut on the head so that I can work with it a little bit more. I just want y'all to know that I tried to staple this mask through with a stapler and ended up putting a whole staple in my finger. So the dedication I have to this channel is like at least a staple through the finger. So what I ended up doing was actually stapling the mask down to the mannequin head because the Pros-Aid would not stick and there was just too much going on. So what I ended up doing is I stuffed the mask in quite a few sections. It actually, funny enough, has kind of that H2 look with the eyes, but as you can see like here, just because the mask doesn't have a neck and it's being stapled down, it's gonna crease and wrinkle in weird spots, but front facing, you can't really see the problem. What I did was mix up a little bit of like a skin tone color with some liquid latex, so I used a classic caramel and a peach color, and then used my liquid latex, mix that all up, and I'm gonna paint just the face part for now to try and create. We're gonna do like what we did with the H1 repaint, where we're gonna do the Captain Kirk mask first, the white on top, and then weather from there. So I'm gonna start by painting that. Alright, so I gave this guy like 2 coats of that skin tone, and it's a little blotchy. I've noticed that this paint is, or not my paint in general, but the liquid latex mix that I normally do on masks isn't adhering as well as it should. And I think it's like I said, because of that super cheap latex. But as you can see, the mold is starting to actually show shape, and it actually doesn't have the worst shape I've ever seen. Like, I can definitely work with this. So I have right here is my plate. I just have some matte white mixed with half and half, or it's not mixed yet with latex. I use my chip brush just to quickly mix that all up. And then I'm gonna brush white over the mask, and I'm gonna try and leave just like a little bit of, you know, where the neck is supposed to be, I guess. I'm gonna leave some there. I'm gonna try and leave some of this tan between the eyes and in some other areas. So this is pretty much trial and error at this point, because this is really just a trial mask. So yeah, here we go. So I added a few coats of that white, and I didn't realize I bought a matte coat, so it does look a lot more matte. And it looks a little blotchy, and I wanted to keep it that way because what we're actually going to do next is use some naphtha, which is like a paint thinner. We're going to remove some pieces of paint, or like some areas, because in H2, the mask is actually from the first movie. It gets really deteriorated. Multiple different stories about whether or not it was kept under, you know, someone's bed and they were smokers, like the directors and stuff. So we're gonna try and imitate that. Honestly, without the hair, that looks really nice, no joke. I think I might try and find some crepe hair that I feel like I have lying around the house, but Halloween stores are open, so I can probably find them anywhere. But, so I'm gonna try and remove some paint with a little bit of paintbrush naphtha. I am a little worried though that this paint is like, I feel if I like just wipe it too hard, it's gonna come off. And I wanna do like washes to this thing, so I don't know, we'll find out. So to try and mimic the H2 mask, I took off some paint here around the nose, tried to get the eyebrows. The issue is, so the white layer actually stuck more than I thought, but the issue is, like I said, it wasn't adhering well to the actual latex. It began to almost peel off sections here, so I have to stop for now, and I think I'm just gonna use paint to add some of this weathering back later after I do like the details. So I'm gonna try and paint on the lips and other detailing and stuff to try and emphasize a little more of the facial structure. I decided that before I go in and do the detailing, I'm just gonna do a wash. So right here I have a wash of, it's a lot of water and just a little bit of gray acrylic paint. I'm gonna paint that over. And the reason I'm doing this now is because I don't wanna paint all this detail on and then worry about, if I didn't do the right ratio, accidentally wiping it off with water. So I figured why not just get this done now, and then I can see how much detail actually popped just from doing this. So I'm really just painting this everywhere. It's such a light wash, there's barely any paint in there. Or kind of blot it. Because this mask in H2 was quite dirty. It wasn't clean at all. Even in the first film, the mask really wasn't clean. The camera work was mostly just done in the darkness, so you really didn't see it all that much. Alright, so I formed a little bit of gray paint. I mixed it with a little bit of liquid latex. I'm gonna put just a really small amount on this brush and attempt, and I say attempt because I am terrible at painting detail like this. I'm gonna try and outline a lip shape based off of a reference photo. My camera battery kind of died when I didn't even realize it, but I didn't really get that much farther. So all I did was I colored in the lips there, and then I added just a little bit of black around this area and added a little bit of white because I overdid some sections. So basically I did the lips and dirtied it up. Now, before I go any further, I wanted to try and be crazy. I have this Newt Scamander wig that I totally botched. I have like 4 of these things. I cut them up so bad and they were so cheap. This hair color is honestly pretty close to the H2 Michael. What I'm gonna do, I know you guys think I'm fucking crazy, I'm gonna cut this thing up into reasonable strips and I'm gonna try and hair this mask. Now I've never in my life haired any type of mask, let alone a Michael Myers mask, let alone a high quality Michael Myers mask, but I think this is a decent time to try. So this is like a try. I don't know if this is actually gonna work out, but the way I'm gonna cut it in like strips, kind of put them on my tray right here. I have like a thing of paper towels down and everything. And then I'm gonna try and use liquid latex to adhere it to the head. So let's see how that goes. Alright, so as you can see, I attempted to do this. I'm gonna see that if like I can like brush it out and maybe blow dry it and stuff, see if I can get this to look a little better than it does right now. Okay, so that was the worst decision I've ever made in my entire life. It still looks awful on this hairline, but in all honesty, it looks better than that fake ass hair that was there before. I might try and add a few more layers here to see if I can like make this hairline look decent and make this look a little better than it kind of does. But yeah, I would not recommend doing that if you have literally no skill. I'm so glad I did this on a cheap mask and not my age 40, which I'm literally ready to rehair. So, oh my goodness. Alright, I'm gonna try and fix this thing up a little bit more. And I'm just gonna call this mask done because I am not wasting more of my day on this stupid thing. Overall, the sculpt on the face is pretty damn good. I'm not gonna lie. It's not the worst sculpt I've ever seen in my life. If it was like a full head mask, you could honestly make this thing look pretty great. So I'm going to attempt to make the hair look a little bit better by styling it and see if I can get some final end product photos. Alright, so here is the finished product. Camera, you better focus. I am done with this video. So as you can see, this thing is kind of done-ish. I don't know if I would call this an absolute win, because it's definitely not something I'd still wear out of the house or at any, I wouldn't even put this in my collection. But as you can see, this looks 1,000,000 times better than it did, which is saying if you do have the skills to do something like hairing a mask, unlike and just a little bit of easy paint work, you can make something really cheap look incredibly nice. And that's all I have to say about that. Honestly though, the sculpt, after looking at it, it really reminds me of the H1. Ruby sells a full H1 head sculpt and it's not that bad, but it's very similar. So I have a whole bunch of awesome content coming this Halloween. I love the Halloween season and you guys know that my videos portray that. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this somewhat tutorial, somewhat experiment. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your day and look forward to the rest of the videos at the end of the week.